Okay, looks like the stream has started. Welcome to the Samurais and Stories live stream. We are just doing a little sound test here. Just a little sound test before we get started at 5:30.
Okay, I can hear you on the stream.
Oh, great. Great. I'm going to turn on desktop audio in a second so we can test that out. Okay, let me turn on desktop audio, and then Scarlett, tell me if you can hear what I'm playing. I'm going to turn on right now. Did you hear that?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay.
The audio seems to be glitching out a bit.
The audio?
Like the music that was playing.
Oh, I just paused it. Was it glitching during the playback?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well,
It might just be like a lag thing or something.
Okay. Well, hopefully I shouldn't really need to use desktop audio.
Okay.
But that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna notify the server that we're streaming and then write a email, let people know. Let's grab our Twitch URL here. Okay. Hi, everyone. We are now live on Twitch and for other platforms if you want to tune in. Right here. Yep. Members, if you join the live streamed RP events, you can contribute to the text channel, contribute ideas, text channel, even if you aren't a player in the event. Okay. All right, now let's go here to the live streamed role-playing channel. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you through Discord too.
All right. Okay. Just started the Discord event. Okay, that's cool. Looks like I'm getting some DMs, some PMs. We'll get started here in just a few minutes, guys. Let me hide Discord for a second. Just answering some PMs real quick. Okay. Okay. Oh, my camera's not on. Here I am. Okay, I'm gonna display this. Okay. Hello everyone, we'll get started in just a few minutes. Just doing some sound check related stuff.
Okay, I think the whole stream is lagging now.
Oh, is it? What? So there's just a bunch of lag in it.
Yeah, the visuals are not looking so good. But,
Okay, let's take a look.
you can't see it too much now.
Oh, it's just the frame rate's really low?
Yeah, the frame rate.
Okay, let me check in about something real quick. Okay, I had that computer turn its Wi-Fi off. I'll do this one as well.
Oh, is it maybe possibly because this time my computer is so close to yours? Is it something with the connection or something?
It's possible. I don't think so. I don't see why having the computers nearby would affect that, but could be wrong, I guess.
Let me see.
Okay, yeah, see if that made any difference. Just working on trying to get this frame rate up a little higher. And I will quit any apps I'm not using.
The frame rate's still the same. It looks like there might be some like settings on OBS that you can do to like alter the visuals so that
That's a good idea. Let's see. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of some stuff I don't really need. Did that improve anything?
let me check. It looks like it's still the same.
About the same. Okay. Well, we might have to live with it.
Let's see how that
Gonna get started in just a few minutes.
Okay, the audio seems fine, thankfully. So
Oh, good.
that's an important part of this because it's about samurais of sound. So
Yeah,
if
that's
that's working, then
that's
we're
a
all
plus.
good.
Okay. We are waiting on Karen Strassman to join. She'll be with us in a few minutes.
Awesome.
And Scarlett, if you could keep an eye on the general chat and then the stream comments as well, that would be much appreciated.
Sure. Did you want me to like check the chat to like restream?
Yes. Yeah, are you logged into Restream?
Yeah, I'm logged into that, so I can just type over hello.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, good. I should have done that on my own like account because now there's just a comment under Samurais and Stories that just says hello!
Hello.
Exclamation point.
It's awesome. You know, that's okay. We're friendly. Okay. So while we're waiting on Karen. Let me get my notes pulled up. Let's see here. Oh, she's logging on. She's just taking her time. She'll be here in a few minutes. Just bear with us, guys. Okay, she's on the server first.
Someone said they're denied access. They can't log into the video.
Hold on.
Oh, like they don't have permissions to turn on their camera or something?
Yeah, I might have to give them the right role.
Oh, okay. Do I have that permission?
Yes, as long as they're registered for the event, they can get the role that's live player. I'm just chatting with Karen to get her up and running here.
All right, I added the room.
Okay, I'm gonna call Karen real quick. Hi, Karen. Can you put me on speaker so that you can do what you need to do with me on the line?
You're already on speaker. I don't know.
Okay, great. So if you go into the Discord app, you'll see the little microphone, Samurai Sound microphone, on the left hand side. Just make sure you're.
So I took a picture of where I was, and I sent it.
Oh, I see.
I don't see any microphone.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I think you're in settings. Okay. So. Okay, why don't you, can you like close Discord from your little history there,
Sure.
and then reopen it, and we'll just start over from square one.
Really?
So let me know when you're back in
So
Discord.
sorry, I'm so technically inept.
Oh, don't even worry about it, you're fine. This stuff can be really complicated.
Okay.
Let me know when you're back in Discord.
Now I'm just in Discord.
Okay, so click on the microphone, the Samurai Sound microphone. On the left, it should be on the left-hand side.
Don't see that. Here, I'll take a picture of what I see.
Okay.
I can also go and do it on my computer if that's easier.
Oh, okay, so you're in the server. This is good. I'm seeing what you're seeing. If you just press that back arrow in the top left corner, and then you'll see a a little kind of folder called Live Streamed
Just over
RP.
go, like microphone on that.
Yeah, and then you want a list of the channels. So not necessarily looking at the chat, but a list of the channels. And you'll see a channel called live-stream-RP, and that's the one that we're all participating in.
Haha. I think it's working.
Okay, let me see on my end if you're in.
I see a whole bunch of people.
That's a good sign. I see you in here. Okay, so let me see if I can hear you in my headphones.
You guys see me?
I don't
Oh.
think you will see yourself until I think let's see.
Oh, I can.
Oh, I can see you now. Yeah, because I am showing non-video participants.
I can't see myself, but if you guys can see me and I'm aiming the phone in the direction of my face, then we're good. We're good.
Okay, we can't see you.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the camera's turned on.
The camera's not on yet.
Interesting.
Okay.
So I don't know what button to press for that.
You don't know either.
Maybe.
So if she's in the voice chat, is it maybe just like the turn on camera button down there? I don't know where it
She's
would be on
using
the
mobile.
phone.
So maybe Scarlett,
Oh.
if you could go into the mobile app and then
I'm happy to go into my computer though. Whichever is better.
Either one would work.
I think we're
just
pretty
have to figure
close.
out where the button is.
Okay.
yeah, we're one button away from seeing you at least, although I'm still not hearing you, but
Turn voice from here. Okay, yeah, down at
So
the
what is it?
bottom. Oh, my headphones disconnected. But you click, and then there should be a button on the far left corner that has
Okay,
like a
I
thumb
see.
camera.
So Karen, if you just click, like just tap on the screen anywhere, you'll see two buttons on the bottom left for video and
Haha.
one for video, one for audio. Okay, looks like, oh,
It
there you
works.
are. And now if you press the audio
Alright,
one,
we did it.
if you press the audio button just right where you were before, then we should be able to hear you. Because right now we can't hear you in the stream or in Discord.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, looks like you just muted yourself. So I guess we
I
could
know,
hear
it
you
was
before.
on.
Don't know why
Now
I'm
it's
not
on.
hearing you then.
Can you hear me? No?
Can you hear her? I can only hear her through the phone. I can hear you
La,
right
la,
here.
La la la.
Oh, yeah, I can't hear it through the computer.
Such strange things.
Oh, okay, let's hang up. I'm gonna hang up on you.
Should I?
Okay, I just hung up. So maybe now it'll work. Hello, hello. Maybe I can unmute you or something. You're not muted. That's not the problem. Oh. Okay. Well, if we call again, I can actually just use my phone on speaker, and then we can hear you that way. So I will call you again, Karen. And this will be the next best thing. Oh, I think she just exited.
Hi, this is Karen. I'm leaving.
Maybe she's going to rejoin. Yay! We can hear you! Yes, you do. That was awesome. Now I'm trying to... Oh, of course. Trying to figure out the best way to display all of our faces. Okay. So, everyone, welcome Karen Strassman on her birthday. Happy birthday to Karen. It is so wonderful that you took the time to join us today, and we're very honored. You guys, Karen is known for many, many things, among them Final Fantasy, Persona, some stuff with Sonic the Hedgehog, Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, all kinds of stuff. So Karen's a phenomenal voice actress, and just so happens to be hosting a workshop with us coming up, which we'll talk about as well. So welcome, Karen. So, Karen, we're here, as you know, we're here this evening to play some Dungeons and Dragons, and it just so happens that the workshop that you're going to be hosting later this month, this is so perfect because it's literally called Fantasy Video Games Voiceover Workshop with Karen Strassman. So you're talking about fantasy video game voiceover. So could you say a few words about that? What we might expect to see in the upcoming workshop? Thank you so much, Karen. It couldn't be more perfect. I mean, the stakes are going to be equally as high in our adventure this evening. Does anyone have any questions about that workshop or anything else that they might ask Karen? Wonderful. I think we have a question.
People can't hear the people chatting on Discord. Like they can't hear Cameron and can't hear people asking questions
What about the stream?
on the stream. Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? This would be the time. Karen might. She's got birthday festivities to attend to, so that might be. Yeah. I've left the link to Karen's workshop in our chat, and Scarlett will throw it up on the stream as well. Some of you, I think there's been some technical difficulties, might not have heard everything, so we'll make sure that the recording gets posted as well. And one more time, a big thank you to Karen for stopping by. We love you too. Joker, real quick, I see one question very quickly. Alrighty, have a good evening. Thanks again, Karen. Bye.
Bye. Do you have the audio source from Discord in OBS?
Okay, yeah. Let's attend to some technical difficulties here. It looks like our desktop audio is not working properly, so let's get that sorted out. Let's see, we have me, there I am. We have Discord. We need, that's the microphone. Oh, okay, I know how to. Okay, that's not it. One second, guys. MacBook Pro microphone. So people on the stream can't hear us? Oh, couldn't hear her on the stream.
No.
Can they hear me? Can anyone hear me on the stream? If you can, just throw up a comment.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because they could hear you through, like. Are you using a mic? Wherever your voice is coming out of, they can hear that, but they can't hear, like, the internal.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, so it is the desktop audio then. That's what it's got to be. Let's make sure that Discord is outputting. I think that's the problem. I think Discord's not outputting to the desktop audio.
Yeah, there is Discord in the settings. You can go into.
Yeah.
Oh, and voice and video, right?
Is that what it is? Voice and video.
Or is it
Output device. Yep, that's it. It's not
Okay.
outputting on the right device. But that's okay. We have it recorded and we'll post it as well. We want it on this one. And now if you guys could unmute your microphones and just say some words.
Check on that.
Can someone say someone unmute and say some words, please? Okay, so I need to save these changes.
Some words.
Mic check. One, two, three.
Oh, now I hear you. Now I hear you.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you all. Okay. I didn't have
Yeah.
Discord outputting on the right. Gee whiz. Okay, well, that's fixed. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties for anyone watching the stream. We will have this little Q&A session posted and on our social medias and such. And Scarlett, could you post a link to Karen's upcoming workshop in the stream comments so people can check it out?
Oh yeah, I can redo that. I did it when you posted it in the voice chat, but I don't know if it went through, so I'll repost.
Okay. All right. So who do we have here? Looks like there are five of us players. No, 4 of us players and me. I think we had more. Did someone? Let me see. Okay, we got a few more. Okay. All right. So I would like everyone to just introduce themselves, talk a bit about where you're at in your voiceover journey and your Dungeons and Dragons journeys, your name, and then your character name as well. If you can customize your display name, I think because we're on streamer mode, it's going to be truncating everyone's usernames by default. So I can just, like some of you, I just see G, which is what I'll be calling you if you don't change it. So not that there's anything wrong with that. And I see some familiar faces, and even still, sometimes there's a lot of you, so it's hard to get it all straight. So let's start with, I'll start with myself. I'm Austin Coffey from Samurais of Sound and Strawberry Hill Studio. Scarlett and I are in the studio tonight right now.
Hello.
We are in just north of San Francisco, across the Golden Gate Bridge. I've been working with Strawberry Hill Studio and doing this, managing Samurais of Sound for the last few years. My background is in classical piano, but also I went to school for music production and audio production, and then I started working here managing our roster of voice actors, doing audio editing, project management, things like that. So you'll hear a lot from me if you're involved in our events and things like that. Next, we have Chris. Chris, could you share a little bit?
Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Cito Joe. I'm I live in Houston, Texas. I'm an actor by trade. As far as voice acting goes, I've kind of been doing it as a hobby for going on like 10-ish years, but I've really started to buckle down, trying to turn it into a career within the last 3 years, 4 years. And this is my first time actually playing D&D. I've listened to plenty of podcasts and YouTube streams and all that good stuff. I've read through the the player handbook, but this will be my first time playing a character that I made. Said character, his name is Hakuro. I guess that's it.
Cool. Yeah, we can. Thank you so much for sharing. We can go through the character backstories in a bit. There's some interesting intricacies around that because we have some people coming from previous sessions, so that'll be fun to maneuver. But thank you for sharing. I used to live in Houston, so that's cool. And then next I see Mr. G.
There's like 2 G's.
There's two. G.
There's 2 G's, so I'm trying to figure out.
How do you rename yourself, by the way, so I can give people instructions on that?
You right click on them, and you should be able to have the ability to rename them.
Oh yeah, I can. Look at that. I'll call you G1. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hi class, I'm G1.
Hello.
Yes. My name is Gail. I've been voice acting for about 5 years, and D&D I have been playing for about maybe 4 of that. Like actually, I played before when I was a teenager, but I wasn't like too into it just because of the people I knew. They weren't very good teachers. But yeah, I've had like a lot of happiness with playing it ever since like 4 years ago with the group that I went with. Been about three campaigns or so, and this is going to be my first time ever playing a bard.
Very nice. It's always great to have bards. All right, someone who would like to go next. All right, go ahead.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Justin Hernandez. I am actually brand new to voice acting. I have not had much experience in it, but I'm also looking forward to this opportunity to get to explore what you guys are going to do with your characters and do with my own character. His name is Mitsuki, just the one name. Or you can call him Mitsuki, it doesn't really matter to me. He's also referred to as the Crimson Moon Shinobi, a tiefling, and he's a bit of a wild card, so I'm excited to kind of explore what he's going to do in the campaign and what I can do with this character. So, I'm forgetting if I'm missing anything. Oh, D&D journey? I'm brand new to D&D. I've never played D&D in my life. I've listened to D&D podcasts before, so I have somewhat of an idea of how these typical kind of sections go, but please be patient with me. I really am pretty brand new to this.
Thank you, Justin. I see that we have a note. My mic is suppressed.
He can't. I think he got permission to use video, but not audio.
Oh,
I
okay.
can help with that.
If you've registered for the event, we should, Scarlett, everyone should have the live-player role.
Okay, yeah, I think I gave the live player role.
You're also muted. Have you tried unmuting?
I do see that as well, muted.
Oh no.
It could be, that could be a result of the suppression Let's see.
So,
Okay. Let me see if I can roles. Live player. Huh. Yeah, that should do it. Live player should be the. Okay, let me go into the specific permissions and make sure there's nothing that's like overriding it. So live player can speak, can use video. Yeah, I don't see anything that would be.
are you seeing that your mic is unmuted on your end, like the on Discord, that the mic button is muted?
Two. Curious why it only seems to be affecting one user in the stream. Not sure why that would be. Yeah, I can see you have the role. I wonder. Are you in a different? Are you somehow simultaneously in two different voice chats? Could that be it?
The other thing to check is voice and video. See where the microphone setting is.
Oh, yeah.
Are you talking to
I
to the
use Discord,
admins
like,
or?
a lot.
Right. Yeah. Is that a comment for the admins or the user? Tazi, where you when you say, can you repeat?
Yeah, the user.
Oh.
G2 or guitar. I think in voice and video, what does it say in your settings as your input device? It's set up that way.
Can you try just backing out, like disconnecting and then reconnecting? Sometimes that works. Maybe it's because we granted you the role halfway through. Yeah, I bet if you disconnect and come back.
Oh, okay. It looks like the mic is
Yay! Overcoming hurdles. Please introduce yourself with how you would like us to refer to you so we can give you a proper name.
Yes, well, good evening, I guess. My name is Adam. I am a public middle school teacher here in San Jose-ish, California. I teach remedial reading, a unit of 7th grade world history and a unit of 8th grade US history. As far as the voice acting journey goes, I am putting the finishing touches on my business reel in conjunction with this. I have 3 years of Meisner or film acting training under my belt. Have not put any of this to professional use yet, so am hoping to change that sometime soon. Better now than never. As for D&D experience, I am still in 2 campaigns, neither of which have really ceased, but unfortunately, like most adult D&D campaign, or D&D campaigns played by adults, it just becomes a matter of timing and location, and not all players can be in one place at once, and everyone moves away and such. So it's been about 2 years since I've played deliberately, and I guess my grasp is still a little bit rusty, but as I recall, it was quite fun.
Yeah, the scheduling piece can be hard, but I'm really interested in making use of Discord to kind of overcome that. And
Sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I was just going to say, just going to describe my character. He is a Kenku, anthropomorphic crow by the name of Liam Loosequill. Is a rogue. I guess that about finishes it.
Wow. And guys, if you want to add your character's name in parentheses or something to your nickname, that might help as well, making sure that we can all refer to each other as seamlessly as possible. Very excited to meet the Kenku. We'll do our backstories here shortly. For now, we have a few people who have not shared.
I can go next. Hi, I am Tazzy. My real name is Gavin. I am a musician, roleplay enthusiast, podcaster, streamer, and a forever DN. As far as D&D goes, I play like 2 games a month or 3 games a month. I'm running 2 campaigns, and I also run a podcast campaign. So I'm always playing. But I haven't done like professional voice acting work outside of like a small role in a like a computer game, because I happened to know the author when I was like 12. But I have some background in improv and just trying to learn and branch out and be a part of the community and hopefully maybe make a semi-professional career out of it. Because in my day-to-day, I work in a music store chain. I'm a manager there, and I do a ton of work helping kids get started on instruments. I play French horn, guitar, drum set, ukulele, bass, trumpet, and I sing. And then I will be playing Orochi, the copper dragonborn fighter.
Thank you so much. I believe next is Joker.
There we go. Mouse troubles. My name is Scott. You can also call me Leon if you like. I am stuck over in wine country, California. Boring, very. I'm still pretty early on in my voice acting career, or not really career, just at this point it's really more of a hobby. But as for D&D, I've been playing for like 7-ish years now. Starting to branch out to other tabletop games and just enjoying the game overall. Right now I'm playing a rogue and it's a lot of fun. But I'm going to be playing Yoana Saike, or Seike, I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. He is a sorcerer who just happens to be my first spellcaster character. That's it.
Welcome. Is there anyone who is not using their camera who is also signed up and registered as a player in the event? I don't think so. I think that that was everybody. Okay, so second question is, I don't think the answer is yes to this either, but has anyone here participated in the previous live roleplay we did a month ago? I don't think so. A couple are registered that participated, so they might come in, which will be fun to sort of figure out and sort of justify that being in 2 places at once. This is the same campaign setting, Samurai Zokoi Mim. And did anyone watch the last stream we did? Gavin did. Oh wow, a lot of you. Oh great, this is fantastic. Yeah, to be clear, like you can participate in whichever events you want. People had questions like, oh, if I played in the last one, can I do this one? Yes, you can. And welcome. So with that said, I think most of you have a pretty good grasp on this. Let me check my email, make sure that nobody is waiting at the gates here. And just do a quick run through of the D&D Beyond party. I have 4 players. I have Orochi, Liam, Hakuro, and Soto. Oh, Soto, the person who plays Soto's might not be coming. or might be coming later. If you have not joined the D&D Beyond campaign, you can follow that link in the email I sent a few days back. That link should be valid to join the campaign. And we're going to get started. Just pulling up my notes here. All right. So, it is my understanding that one of you, I can't remember who, is taking a rather unconventional, making a rather unconventional entrance. But, so this does not apply to that character. To everyone else. As you tread the worn stone path leading to the fabled tavern Blades and Brews, the scent of smoldering cherry wood fills the air, blending with faint notes of brewed sake. The establishment, known for its clandestine meetings among the samurai elite, buzzes with the low hum of secretive conversations and clinking of ceramic cups. As you approach the front door of the tavern, a seemingly distracted doorman catches your attention. He's an elderly man with a deeply lined face and a subtle stoop, garbed in a time-worn robe that whispers tales of bygone days. Resting on a sturdy cane, he watches the world with an unassuming gaze, flipping what appears to be some sort of glimmery red coin. With a wide, welcoming smile that reveals gaps where teeth once were, Goro assesses your group. His eyes, alight with a mischievous twinkle, suggest he knows more than perhaps he lets on. "Ah, fresh faces! The wind brings new tales tonight," he chuckles. "Don't mind me, just ensuring you're the sort of souls suited to enjoy Akari's hospitality." And as you may recall, Akari is the barkeep in Blades and Brews. As he waves you on and you enter the tavern's inviting warmth, filled with clatter of conversation and the clinking of sake cups, several figures stand out. A minstrel in the corner is strumming a biwa, or lute, his music filling the air with melancholic melody. A group of men are laughing loudly, taking turns firing arrows at a target, which seems comically out of place in the crowded tavern. In one corner, a man in black and white robes is examining a quiet brownish bird in a golden cage. In another corner, a shadowy figure is lurking quietly with a watchful eye. As you observe this bustling tavern, Akari, the seasoned owner and barkeep at Blades and Brews, keeps a watchful eye on Goro as he engages with another group. She slides over to your side, pulling a cloth from her apron to wipe down the counter absent-mindedly. "Oh, don't mind old Goro," she murmurs, her voice barely rising above the clatter of sake cups. "He's been a fixture here longer than most of these walls. But between us, his eyes aren't what they used to be, and his mind, more often out for a wander than at home." She chuckles softly, her gaze flicking back to Goro with a hint of concern. "I do worry he might let in the wrong sort one of these nights." Catching her gaze, she straightens up, her expression shifting to relief as she recognizes you. "Ah, you must be the samurais Tadashi mentioned," she declares, gesturing towards an open table near the hearth. "Just in time, too. I've been on edge all evening. Come, sit and relax a moment. Tell me about your journey here." So you guys are led to the table in the middle of the tavern. You are all samurai. You didn't know this, but you're already samurais of Koimin. You do not need to go through the initiation. I didn't feel it was necessary to just repeat the same adventure. You have joined the ranks, let's say, a few months back. And let's say a year ago. A year ago you've joined. And Akari is settling you all in around the table. And I will just go in. I'll start with Liam Loosequill III, our Kenku friend. If you could please share with us your backstory.
Oh, hello. It's fine. I'm talking about someone's bothered to tell me tale. Like the sow feathers back there? Oh, please pardon the joke, stranger. You can call me Liam Livesquill the Third. On account of me dad and his dad before him will also name me Livesquill. Enchanté. The Livesquill clan is a dynasty of the most skilled and ruthless thieves and treasure hunters in the world, you say. Oh? What's this, you ask? A raven sans wings with which to pitch and tinker with locks, isn't it? Stranger things have happened, I suppose. Blame the gods for that one, yeah? 'Twere the raven's fault for his relentless pursuit of shiny things, which drove him to ride the house of the gods. And as he's just come up in, not that word, he lost his wings. He was doomed to live the rest of his existence as the scavenger he was born to be. But oh, how his eyesight grew keen. Oh, how he can mimic, deceive, pilfer, and can the little man gab. Which precisely explains my carpling. Huh? Huh? No? Anyhow, after his biggest score, Daddy came on with a very wealthy raven, so as we wouldn't have to follow in his footsteps and such. So I put us in the fancy schools with all the posh kids of the other species and such. Got good marks I did, but none of it really appealed to me. So I said to the schoolmaster where to go, and flitted off in search of me fortune. So I found myself in the backwoods town of Shadowvale, slumming around with vagabonds, cutthroats, and other babbins who became my newfound kin. What do I bring to the table? Well, here's my impression of an orc who's been overcharged for a leg of mutton. Oi, 17 pieces of silver for this tiny leg of lamb? Pretty good, isn't it? And then here's one of a wood elf ranger who can't open a door. By the spirits, whether will I traverse this massive door? Okay, last one. Here's an impersonation of a human paladin what fell into a tiger trap. Oh no, I've fallen for it again!
Akari chuckles and turns toward the Kenku and says, "Wow, what an impressive array of voices you've just demonstrated. I assume you've picked all those up in the field."
Various places, not just fields, I would say inside ponds, but savage and in alleyways and other places, you know, not just fields.
Who would you like to turn towards next, Mr. Loose Quill?
That same off to the left of me, I have a feeling his name is Akaro.
Oh, yes, that is in fact my name. Good evening, Miss Akari, and to all those present as well. My name is Hakuro. I'll describe him for a second. You see a young man, about 17 years old, standing at 5 foot 8 inches, with medium blue hair pulled into a ponytail and bangs partially obscuring his eyes.
I'm sorry.
A long loam that resembles a lotus flower.
I'm sorry, Chris. Could you
in a
back up?
diamond shape.
Back up like 10 seconds. I think you may have lagged a little bit. Sorry.
Okay. Why don't I start from the beginning? Okay, so you see a young man about 17 years old, standing at 5 foot 8 inches, with medium blue hair pulled into a ponytail and bangs partially obscuring his eyes. He's wearing what looks to be a martial arts uniform with a long sash tied around his shoulder and waist. On the back is an emblem that resembles a lotus flower nestled in a diamond shape. He carries a large knapsack and a backpack. Around his waist is a belt carrying knives and a sling, and he wears leather gauntlets. And he goes on to say, my name is Hakuro. I don't really have a family name. I was sold by my parents to a temple. I'm actually from the Ashikaga Dominion. I don't know if anyone here knows what that is, but it's the kind of place where it's not easy for peasants to make a living. guess why I was sold in the first place. I come from a temple that worships a legendary Oni slayer. We call him the Sentry, and that's where I was raised. And it's tradition for acolytes when they come of age to go on a pilgrimage to visit other sites of worship. But then I heard about the Koimin shogunate and how this samurai initiation, and I thought maybe I could apply the skills I learned there and work as a samurai. It's been working out so far, but yeah, I mean, in addition to my pilgrimage, I'm just trying to apply what I've learned. I have some martial arts skills. I know a little bit of magic. I haven't actually held a sword yet. I guess I'm just waiting for the right one. I'm not all too sure how it works, but I can also provide services to ward off creatures of darkness, specifically Oni, but it should work for other creatures too. So if anyone is in need of that service, I'm happy to provide. I guess that's it. It's nice to meet you all.
Akari bows to you, Hakuro, and says, "It's reassuring to know that there's another one among our ranks who is knowledgeable in defending against dark creatures. Demonic-like creatures tend to raid this town every few years. There's been outbreaks and whisperings in the last few months. So keep your eyes open, and thanks again."
I most certainly will. That is concerning, and I'll help wherever I can.
Who would you like to turn to next?
Let's see. Hakuro will turn an eye to Orochi. I think this would probably be the first time he's ever seen someone like him.
What are you gawking at?
I don't mean to stare, sir. I've never seen one of your persuasion.
That's fine. Where I came from, nobody had. Why don't you take a drink? You're looking a little pale.
And Orochi will knock back up a pint.
Thank you. Hakuro will look at the cup a little hesitantly and take a very, very conservative sip.
Well, yes, I am Orochi. I'm gonna get a little personal, I guess, for a tavern, but here it goes. My origins are unknown, as I was discovered in the reeds near a coastal village as an infant, mostly fishing. Not me, but the village, you know. The old fisherman who found me said he mistook me for a serpent and ran to fetch a spear to kill me. His wife came outside hearing the commotion and stayed her husband's hand, as she could see that I was not a serpent at all, but a baby copper dragonborn. Even though the couple did not have much to live off of themselves, they took me in, as they had no children of their own, and gave me the name Orochi, after the serpent that stalks the reeds. As I grew, it became evident that my unique appearance would cast me as an outsider among the other children of the village. I would spend long hours with my parents helping my father fish and my mother tend to the garden. And in my free time, I would go to watch the Bushi train at the military outpost on the outskirts of the village. I became obsessed with the concept of being a warrior, following Bushido practices and traveling around the land fighting villains. I would practice after chores for hours outside with a practice bow and sword, catching strange looks from the neighbors. Deep down, I knew that this was not the life I had in store for me, as I was the son of a fisherman, and I was a weird creature that didn't belong. At 16, all of that changed for me, and I was given the chance to prove myself as a fighter, when a group of Ronin, who had broken their bonds of service, came and attacked the village. Their leader, Ryzen, who had a score to settle with a samurai who lived with his family in the village. In the bloody battle between the Ronin and the village Bushi, the samurai's daughter, Rumi, was cornered by Ronin, and I stepped between them, practiced sword at the ready. I parried several blows from the attackers, but could not dispatch them with my wooden sword. In that desperate moment, something happened to me that I had never experienced before. I let out a terrible stream of acid from my mouth, and the Ronin fell to the ground, surprised and writhing in agony. For saving his daughter's life, the samurai granted me his family's war bow, a weapon of great importance. I have it here. The villagers paraded me around as a hero, and I no longer had difficulty fitting in. In addition, the samurai began to formally train me in the samurai arts, the ways of Bushido and warcraft. Upon my 18th birthday, I said goodbye to my mother and father and set off towards adventure, with the hopes of conscripting with the local daimyo, and ending up here. There have always been this nagging feeling in the back of my mind that I didn't belong, and so I've been on the lookout for anything in my journeys that might tell me where I came from, and if there were others of my kind somewhere in the world.
As you finish up your speech, the rest of the tavern, which before was, the atmosphere is filled with laughter and clinking glasses, is kind of stopped, and they're just kind of puzzled and looking at you, unsure what to make of this dragonborn. Akari says, we don't get many of your kind around here. I noticed by the ferocity of the rate at which you quaffed your ale. Could I interest you in perhaps something stronger? Is that...
I love it. And don't worry about the stares. I love the attention.
Oh. And then there's this she disappears for a moment. There's this man in the center of the tavern. He's this tall, kind of sturdy, bald man. He stands up and he's holding a bow as well, and he says, another archer. Why don't you come on down in a few minutes and we'll practice on this target. And he kind of motions toward that target that's just in the corner. And Akari stops halfway to the bar and she's like, don't encourage him. We're supposed to take that thing outside.
I see you, friend. I'll be there. Don't you worry.
The guys around him, rejoicing. And who do you turn to next?
I think I'm going to look at Mitsuki.
So I'll kind of set the scene for how he kind of comes into the picture standing from the table. The figure of a male tiefling appearing to be in his early 20s with shoulder-length jet black hair, tied back, stood from his table. The tiefling was easily close to 6 feet in stature and of slender build. His attire was a simple garb of black cloth and leather light armor. A chill rose over those present, as if they were in the presence of a Shinigami or the kami of death. Cold, piercing red eyes bore into the other samurai in attendance. The young tiefling stands silent for just a moment before he speaks. Intriguing! A fascinating assortment of individuals we have here. Truly. My name is Mitsuki, Shinobi. You may find it easier to remember me by my other name, the Crimson Moon. Now, if you wish to learn a little bit more of my upbringing, I suppose I should allow you to have a little bit of background from my past and how I got here. faithful warrior and servant to his lord, hailing from the shadowed realms of Koikuni, the Akamako shinobi Mitsuki, better known as the Crimson Moon. I earned my title and faith of my lord, carving my path in the ways of the shinobi and razor-sharp words. Tragically, my lord and entire shinobi company were annihilated by conspirators and assassins of rival shinobi factions and dishonorable so-called noblemen. 6 years of working in espionage and shinobi tactics, I tore through conspirator and assassin alike, cutting down their organizations and armed forces like a force of nature. Mitsuki the Crimson Moon will strike at you when you would least expect it, and will assure his victory by any and all means, with the exception of involving the innocent. Nothing so dishonorable would disgrace my name so. Honor is victory, a path traced in blood and words, shrouded in shadow. To earn my faith and respect, you must prove yourself capable on any of the fields of battle, be they with words or with skill in combat. Get in my way. You will be the next shadow to disappear. My long cast shadow will shroud your own as the moon rises.
Akari is on her way, maneuvering back through the crowd as you begin to speak and appear, and she gets so startled at the severity of your presence. She spills the expensive-looking sake that was on the tray she was holding.
Oh, do not worry yourself too much of spilling over a little poison you were almost deliberately handing in front of my person.
Well, actually, it was for the Dragonborn, but you know what? Why don't I just get some for the whole table? She turns around and goes back towards the bar.
He stops her for a moment and says, "There will be no need for myself to partake in indulgence of this nature. I thank you kindly, but I humbly refuse."
She says that's very respectable. We also have tea and water. And who do you turn? I guess there's but one of our adventurers. No, two remaining.
I think Mitsuki spots an interesting fellow who, from my intel gathering, goes by the name, what was it again? Yawara.
Why, hello everyone. My name is Yawada Seikei. I come from the Seikei Shrine, and I am simply here to assist in any manner I can. I did not plan on becoming a samurai within my time, but that is something that happened. Okay, going to describe like what you're seeing right now first. You're seeing another tiefling, cherry red skin, black hair, also tied up. That's a funny coincidence. It's very loosely tied up, so it's kind of poofy. He's seeing. His eyes are black sclera with white irises and no pupils. His clothing is very simple, and his stance is somewhat reserved. Somewhat calm. And at the moment, he's just kind of playing around with his magic. He's casting prestidigitation and creates small little flames around his fingers just to dance around. As they move around, you can see a little black vapor moving between them, which very quickly dissipates. And as he And as he starts talking, he stops the spell, and it flickers black and very quiet for a very quick moment before it cuts out. I am simply sent to learn the ways of the world as I travel and try to figure out where I come from. You see, my shrine had actually been mysteriously burned down in the very same flames you see emit from my fingers here. Black flames, silent. I don't know my own origins. All I can say is, from my time I've traveled, I've only heard rumors about my mother. And they say she is quite a devil. I don't know why they always phrase it that way, but they always do. As for all of you, I'm glad to say I'm glad to meet all of you. I hope we can all get along quite well.
If I may, Hakuro perks up at the mention of devil, and now noticing that there are two tieflings in his presence, he turns to both of you and he says, what exactly, how where did you come from? I'm sorry if that comes across as ignorant, but you share a lot of features with the Oni that my century was known to dispatch.
Well, I can't say for sure where I'm from. All I know is I'm here to help, that's all. I am no threat to anyone.
He still gives a bit of a leery eye at Yawara, and then turns to Mitsuki, and he says, "Well, what about you? You claim to leave the innocent be, but forgive me, your presence suggests otherwise."
Mitsuki gives him a examining look, as if he's looking at a lab experiment. You ask that I tell you a little bit about some information that I do not believe you have a single bit of privilege towards. So you can either choose to take my word that I do not care for involving the innocent in my business, or you can choose not to. That is not my issue. My issue would be when you would become a problem to me directly.
Hakuro doesn't say anything, but there's a bit of apprehension behind his gaze, and he returns to his cup.
Mitsuki calls after him, "Hurry along now."
Akari comes back to the table at that moment. "Sake all around!" she says, and starts handing it out, and sees everyone's faces. She's like, "Oh, sorry, what did I miss?"
I'll take those. Thank you.
Yes, here you go.
Oh, I knew I came here for a reason. Thank you.
And
oh, forgive me. Were you going to?
okay.
Liam turns to Mitsuki the Crimson Moon, patting him on the shoulder with a very small feathered arm, kind of laboring to do so as he is only 4 feet in stature. Don't let him get you down, fella. You know, thieves like us gotta stick together. I see you two are a man of espionage. So stick with me, and I'm sure we'll both make it out of this rich man. What do you say?
Mitsuki turns his gaze slowly towards Liam as he is in smaller stature to himself, a bit foot under. And he says, I do appreciate the fact that we both do share common areas of profession. And I am so excited to see what you have to offer myself and what I can offer in return. But for the first and only time that I will tell you so, please remove your hand from my person.
With a slight scoff, he quickly withdraws his hand, slightly chuckles. Right, strong and silent, you is. Very well then. We'll keep our eyes out for shiny things, and I'll be sure to share my cut of it with you.
Mitsuki responds, You are most kind, my good sir.
Akari turns to Kagami and says, I've been in and out all evening, but I don't believe we've heard from you yet.
Throughout all of this, he'd been stuffing his face, and Mitsuki in particular had scared the crap out of him. So he started choking on it. So the sake comes in, he just started down like, oh man, I thought I was gonna die. Yeah, it was a little hard to break the tension in this room, you know? Yeah. I guess I could talk about myself a little bit, and you just see a 5'7" human boy around the age of 19. He's pretty lanky, and all he has on him besides clothes is a shamisen on his back.
Scarlet, would you mind
Yeah,
turning the AC on?
my name is
In the
Kagami.
hallway? Can you turn the AC on?
I've been mostly living in a fishing village this whole time, just living my life in leisure. I don't really know my parents. That's one thing. They kind of just left me this instrument and just my name. So I've just been mostly enjoying my life and trying to learn how to play this thing. My favorite thing though is whenever the theater troops would come around in the village, I always took in their rakugo and kabuki performances. It was amazing every time. Though there was one day that we ended up having a very thick mist. A group of bandits ended up trying to take advantage of it. Complete psychopaths, killed for sport. I didn't even understand it. Now our village didn't really have much in the way of armed forces. But for some reason I ended up being hit by a bit of inspiration. See, there was this one story that I learned about called the Shinigami Monogatari. I thought why not? It scared the crap out of me. I ended up getting a few of the villagers, and they ended up finding these big cloaks. The more raggedy, the better. And they took whatever sharp instruments that they could from their farming. I ended up playing that story while hiding on the top of a tree. The farmers were kind of like actors, or my reapers were saying, as I went through the story. It ended up working somehow, and I was able to scare them off. But then I noticed something. The tree lines near us were twisting. They said it was during my song, but I really wouldn't know. I have a bad habit closing my eyes every time. Though, then I ended up growing a little bit popular. The kids really liked hearing some of the stories that were reenacted them. Then that made me realize something. I wanted to live up to the name that I had, even though I didn't really know my parents. It's a gift to me. Kagami. It means mirror. So I want to be a mirror of the world and reflect the smiles that come my way. Though, traveling's a bit hard. I ended up being a samurai just to make it easier.
Akari says, "Well, I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you came tonight. To be honest with you, the current bard is a bit dry for my taste. Maybe you could spruce things up, but let's try to keep, don't animate the wood around the tavern if possible. I spent a long time refurbishing it."
I don't even know how that happened in the first place, so don't worry about it. I'll try not to tell scary stories.
And you can hear the bard currently playing in the corner. He has this deep and resonant voice, and he's telling this old, long-winded ancient tale of the divine origins of this sword called the Kenkazi. And let me put my notes up here for a second. Sorry. My computer's frozen. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I hope I can get along with everyone. Luckily, I'm not the touchy-feely type, though. It seems you guys got a problem with that.
Indeed. So as Akari is listening to your stories, and she hears more and more about your samurai prowess, her eyes, are widening slightly. It's not every day we're graced with such an impressive assembly of samurais, she remarks. And she gestures for you to lean in a little closer and lowers her voice as her gaze flickers to some of the other people in the tavern. "You've arrived tonight in just the nick of time. I've been fretting all evening." Her eyes then direct yours to a golden bird cage in a dimly lit corner of the room, where a brownish bird is perched, motionless. That there is a brown-eared bulbul named Kotori, and it's been with us since before even I started working here, over 30 years, if you can believe it, chirping away constantly, every single day. The only time Kotori ever fell silent was about a decade ago. That very same day, a group of shinobi samurais from a distant land attempted to steal the Kenkaze. And she kind of gestures to her waist, where you can see a ornate katana sheath with a katana inside on her waist. Now, look at that bird, silent as the grave again, and on the same night that our usual undercover guards are absent from the tavern due to the ongoing initiation ceremony at the castle, the Shiro. The initiation ceremony is for the new batch of samurais. Those players played in last month's game, and they are still in the ceremony right as we speak. She casually touches the katana strapped to her belt, the blade subtly catching the tavern's light. This isn't just any katana. It's the Kenkaze itself. With Kotori quiet, the bird, maybe I'm just being superstitious, but I fear we may be facing another threat. I'm thankful you're here. Your timing couldn't be better.
Hakuro will look around the establishment, just give a cautious just scan around the room, and he comes back and he says, "So you're afraid that whoever tried to steal the sword will try to steal it again, and because Kotori is silent, you think it might happen tonight?"
That's correct. Between you and me, and I'll say before she says her dialogue, what you saw as you were looking around the tavern is several figures who stand out. The bard, of course, playing his long-winded song on the lute. The men who are laughing loudly, firing their bow and arrow. This man who is by the bird cage, he's wearing black and white robes, and he's feverishly examining this bird, which is just totally unresponsive in the cage. And in a corner, there is a somewhat shadowy figure lurking quietly with a watchful eye. And it's this figure that Akari sort of zeroes in on, furrows her brows, and she says, "That there in the corner is Miyu. She was an assassin with the samurais of Koimen some years ago, but her career ended disgracefully when an assassination mission went disastrously wrong, leading to some unintended and innocent casualties. Stripped of her rank and now shunned by her peers, she's now living sort of a new identity. She's skilled in combat and stealth and has a deep knowledge of the politics of Koimin, and well, she has a lot of power, and I'm concerned that she's using it in the wrong way ever since she was shamefully excused from the Koimin."
I think Orochi is now playing with these guys on the practice target.
Okay. Roll dexterity or performance if you want.
Okay. Not performance. 4.
A 4.
I've maybe had too much to drink, I think.
So as you approach this makeshift indoor archery range set up in the middle of the tavern, the man before he introduces himself as Kaito. He's this tall, bald man. And he goes to hand you... Actually, he doesn't go to hand you a bow because he sees that you have one. And sort of measures his up to yours for a moment and sees the craftsmanship of it. Any notes you have about the bow itself?
I think it's a simple like black bow. It's got on the handle, it's got like a nice well woven like snakeskin handle, white with just like red cord, and I keep like a feather at the top of it. It's a long bow, so it's you know, the kind you have to like, you know, a lot to fire properly.
Well, he steps aside and gives you the space, and kind of takes a moment to part the seas a little bit of crowded people. He says, "I assure you, it's well worth all this trouble to put on a show with the target. People love it. Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" And you draw your arrow and let it loose, and it just completely misses the target. Some guy has to, like, you know, jump out of his chair to miss the arrow, and embeds itself in the wall.
Morochi's gonna say,
Well, sometimes
you see there's, and he's just gonna like let out a stream of acid from his breath attack and destroy the target.
Kaito's like, well, you didn't have to be such a sore loser about it. I brought that from my own home. My father built that target.
I'll buy you a new one. A better one that you can't miss on. How's that sound?
It's going to have to be pretty big if it's going to be suitable for the likes of you, it would seem.
It was a defective target. I don't know. I'm gonna get another drink. Clearly.
I think Mitsuki would step in here and say, "There is times where lies can be very useful. I don't think this is a good time to use it.
Akari says, truth, lies, none of it means anything to me right now. I've got a smoldering acid-filled target in the middle of my tavern. Is anyone going to clean this up?
I got a question.
Sure.
Where is the sword right now?
She's wearing it around her waist. And
I try to.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. You go first.
In the sort of like anger that she's feeling over seeing her beloved tavern in potential disarray, she's sort of letting her guard down here momentarily, and she's sort of stepping out into the center of the tavern, and you can get actually quite a good look at the sword, and perhaps she's not being as cautious as she seemed like she should have been being before.
Can I like stealthily approach and without her noticing try to take the sword from her?
Yes, roll sleight of hand.
Okay. Is that like a D20?
Yes, and a quick note about making checks. You can use Avrai if you want to. Avrai streamlines the process in some ways because you don't have to use physical dice and it's linked to your character sheet. Some people find it difficult to use. You can use physical dice if you want and just roll them on your desk, or you don't need to like prove the number or anything. I don't think anyone's... If you're cheating, that's you can cheat if that's what you want to do. Don't cheat though.
While he's doing that, Yawara is going to walk over to all the spilled acid and use prestidigitation to just clean it up. 1 cubic foot at a time.
Akari just heaves a sigh of relief. Oh, finally, someone useful. If you're looking for custodian work, let me know. And to answer your question, Mitsuki, it's a D20 roll, and you're going to add your sleight of hand modifier.
Sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with the sleight of hand modifier, it's a 14.
Okay. So she's sort of bent over Yawara, sort of watching him in amusement as he's sort of cleaning up this mess magically. By the way, what does that look like?
What does it look like when he tries to approach to take the sword?
No, what is the prestidigitation doing to the acid?
It's kind of making it sort of burn out. This is just flavor text one way I'm doing it. It's kind of slowly burning away, turning it into more of that black vapor that I mentioned earlier, and just disappears. It's like it's evaporating very, very quickly.
And as she's momentarily distracted by this, Mitsuki approaches and attempts to steal the sword. Akari whirls around and looks at you with, renewed distrust and anger. And she says, "What are you doing? What's gotten into you?"
I thought it would be a great experience to let you know that this is the greatest time for people to try to take that what you find is important.
At that moment, she's looking at you, obviously very upset, and she's kind of looking between the rest of you to see, sizing you up to see if she can really trust you. All of the lights in the tavern are briefly extinguished, and you hear some sort of scuttling, and then moments later, the lanterns come back onto life, and Goro, the elderly doorman from before, is standing menacingly behind Akari, and looking in all of your direction. And he's holding the Kinkaze now, the revered katana of the samurai's equipment, and it's pressed sharply against Akari's throat. Slowly, Goro begins to back toward the exit, his eyes locked on, well, you, Mitsuki. His voice cuts through the tension of the now quiet tavern. "Don't make any sudden moves, or the barkeep here won't be serving anyone again. And Akari is just caught between this mix of shock and defiance. Her voice is carrying the weight of betrayal, and she responds, Goro, after all these years, you choose now to betray your own? Why this? Why now? Goro's reply comes with a palpable bitterness, his years of silent frustration boiling over. Years, Akari. Years of seeing this blade wasted, hung like a trinket for tourists. Always the faithful doorman, never the honored samurai. This katana is not just some ancient artifact to be displayed. It's a living force, meant for battle, not for show. Did you think I didn't deserve a chance to see it wielded as it should be? And they're just inching closer to the door. It becomes evident that Goro's not alone. A handful of shadowy figures are subtly positioning themselves throughout the room, a silent threat against any who might intervene. And Akari, her voice softens in this desperate attempt at this point to reconnect with the man she thought she knew. She pleads, Goro, you've been like a brother to me. We've faced tougher storms than this together. Put down the sword. Let's talk this out. Not as barkeep and doorman, but as friends. And despite the heartfelt plea, his resolve remains unshaken. I'm doing what I must be done. This sword has a destiny, and I am taking it to someone who will honor its legacy in battle. It's time it found a true warrior's hand.
As he moves over to the door, I like to cast Thaumaturgy on the door to make it swing open and hit him.
All right, everybody roll initiative. We'll get to that.
18.
21.
7. Actually,
Oh wait, I have a plus to an initiative. That's a 20.
My rolls on digital rolls are always terrible, so I'll be right back on my actual dice.
And by the way, anyone who recorded their voice, most of it would have been the backstories in the chat, gets a +1 to their roll. I forgot to mention that before.
Oh, yeah.
But the rule is if you, for every voice recording you add to the chat, you get a +1 to your next roll, caps at +3, and then once you use it, it resets back to 0.
That would bring my initiative to 22.
$17.
5, baby.
$7.
Okay. I think most of you have rolled back. Can everyone... Actually, I'm going to ask one by one. Liam, I just need your hit points, your AC. Actually, let's just go AC. Nope, I'm just going to streamline this and just give me your initiative roll. So Liam, what was your initiative roll? Sorry, Adam, what was your roll?
My roll was 17, but +3 initiative, so I guess it's 20.
Okay, 20. And next we have, let's see, Hakuro. What was your initiative, Hakuro?
My initiative was in total 22.
22. Okay. Hold on, 1 second. Oh, I see. Sorry, 1 second here. add you all first. Orochi. Mitsuki. And then I gotta add enemies in.
Correct language apparently according to Avery is check initiative.
Check initiative.
You can ignore my roll.
Okay. Sorry. Almost ready. Okay, now I'm ready for everyone's initiative. So Adam, yours was 21.
No, just solid 20.
Okay. Hakuro was 22, right?
Correct.
Kagami.
Oh, I was muted. It was 7.
Okay. Yawara.
Also 7.
Okay. Orochi.
5.
5. And Mitsuki.
21 total.
21. Okay. So we'll go with Yawara's first, and then we'll go to the top of the initiative. So Prestidigitation slams this door shut. Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
I was using thaumaturgy to slam the door open so it would hit him
Oh.
as he walks by it. That was hilarious.
Okay. He is going to roll Constitution saving throw to actually let's go Strength saving throw to see if the door affects him in any, breaks his grip on Akari, etc. Get my dice out here. I'm just gonna use physical dice, and that's gonna be the door opens up, very quickly and slams in his back. He's obviously unprepared because his eyes are all locked on you, and he staggers and then falls over, and his grip remains on the sword, but Akari is able to kind of twirl out of his grasp and is now standing next to him. Everyone else in the tavern has basically began panicking. Most of the samurais in Koimin are actually at the initiation ceremony right now. So the tavern is relatively unguarded, and these people are mostly just commoners, common folk, merchants, peasants, whatnot. So they're just kind of in a crazed panic, and they're funneling out of any opening they can find, the windows, the back door. And so that's kind of what's going on around you. And it is Hakuro's turn.
Okay. Quick question. When the lights dimmed that first moment, could any of us have perceived anything, especially if we have dark vision?
Yes, make a perception check as a bonus action.
Oh, as a bonus action. I kind of wanted to use my bonus action for something else, but...
Nat 1.
It's very dark. Would anyone else like to?
This is what the inside of my eyes look like.
Sorry, I blinked. Could you do that again?
So dark, in fact, that you're going to have disadvantage on any ability checks or attack rolls that involve your sight for the next turn. My apologies.
All right.
Would it? Would anyone else, any other brave souls, be willing to forfeit their bonus action in the name of perception?
I will do so. I have dark vision too.
Okay.
So that's a perception check.
Yes, yeah. As your bonus action, it's not your turn yet, but we'll just do it anyway.
So with a +1 to perception, that's a 17.
Okay. So as the tavern went dark, you notice that from behind you, where there's this man in the black and white robes who was studying this bird cage, you recall that Akari, when she gestured to the bird before, it was this brownish, like, really unremarkable kind of native bird. But when everything went dark, there was this golden sort of huey glimmer emanating from the bird cage behind you that was just briefly illuminating some space in the room. And as the sword was seized, actually the moment it was attempted to be seized by Mitsuki, the bird began chirping and flying around the cage for the first time all night. So that's what you notice, Mitsuki. And now let's go back to Hakuro.
Yes, so Hakuro, seeing what Goro did, stands up from the table and, in a voice that is distinctly deeper than what he's been speaking with, he says to Goro, "Your transgression will not go unpunished." And he is going to cast Magic Stone. He pulls from his pocket 3 rocks and casts Magic Stone. And I'm going to try and put this in Andre. I think this is the command. It's cast and then the name of it, right?
Probably exclamation point cast and then the name of the spell. I'm not super sure.
Okay, let's see if it shows up in the chat.
Oh,
There
if
it
don't
is.
use the you might already know this, but Avre won't work in the. Oh, it does. I thought it wouldn't work in the video chat. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Okay. He casts Magic Stone on three rocks he pulls out of his pocket. They sort of float in his hand with a very eerie blue light. And in addition to that, he also chants out loud, "Saisho ni senmeru." And with one of those rocks, he is going to throw it at Zagoro.
Was that Japanese?
Yes. So just as a little fun fact, I don't know how well that technically translates, but from searching online, it roughly translates to cast a stone.
Super cool.
And here we go. I think I just hit this. That's a 7. Okay, 7 plus 5, so 12 for a hit.
Oh. And that's on Goro?
Goro, yes.
Okay. So Goro, surprisingly quick with the reflexes. He's sort of on the ground right now, but he whips out his cane and deflects these stones as they're flying towards him. It's a very broad, sort of sturdy cane, and he's able to bat the stones away. And it is now, unless, oh yeah, you mentioned a bonus action.
Well, so the bonus action was to cast Magic Stone.
Okay.
And then the action was to attack, but I left out one little detail. He still has 2 stones in his hand. So as he's holding them, the bangs that were in front of his eyes are now floating above his head, and they resemble 2 horns. And his eyes, that you couldn't quite see what the color were, his eyes are now glowing an eerie yellow color. his turn.
Okay, Mitsuki, it's your turn.
Okay, forgive me. I forgot what the name of the lady was who just had the sword to her throat.
Akari.
Okay, what is she doing right now? Can I see her?
She just got out of the grasp of Goro, and she is standing close to the exit of the tavern, really unsure what to do. If she should, she's kind of torn between ushering out patrons of the tavern, perhaps very concerned for her own safety as well, and is just, weakly kind of gesturing towards the door, getting people out.
How far is she from me?
Well, it's a tavern, so it's a crowded tavern, not very far. She's perhaps 10 feet away from you, in between some people who are rushing by.
Okay, first I am... Oh, wait, is there anybody else that seems hostile around her?
Yes, as I mentioned, there is a small handful of shadowy figures sort of positioning themselves in the corner, and in fact, one of them is fighting with the shadowy figure who Akari had mentioned before. They're involved in a scuffle, and there are two more of those shadowy figures in other corners of the bar off to your left.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move towards Akari, and then I'm going to grab her to get her attention and just say to her, I think your priority right now should be first get these innocent patrons out of this establishment, and afterwards immediately remove yourself from the situation. That would be very helpful indeed.
Okay, make a persuasion check as a bonus action. Oh, you already used your bonus action. We'll say that was a reaction before.
Okay, so that was 6 in total.
She doesn't seem very calmed by your words, and continues to sort of direct traffic, but is just really too wary of what's going on around her to be an effective leader at this point in time. And she seems even more off-put by you, especially because you had just tried to pickpocket her, and sort of recoils away.
And Mitsuki's response to her reaction is just, fine, we'll do this the hard way then. And he will proceed to try to escort the innocents out while brandishing his dagger, ready for anybody to come at him.
Okay, make a general... this skill here is kind of open to interpretation. I was going to general charisma check to escort the people out.
Okay.
But I could be convinced of different features or something else.
Okay, I'll try charisma since I have high charisma.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. That's 15 in total.
Okay, you manage to set up a really effective funnel through the doorway, and you get almost everybody, about 3/4 of the people out unscathed in a very short amount of time. And Akari sort of looks at you again and thinks to herself, perhaps maybe she misjudged you. And it is now Liam's turn.
So how many of these shadowy figures are there?
Well, like I said, there's one that's in front of you and to the right in a corner that's involved in a scuffle. And then there's two off to the left in different corners of the tavern. And they're sort of just looking, like posturing and looking around. Maybe they're drawing their weapons and getting ready from what it looks like to fight.
Okay, I am going to use, I guess, a skill that's endemic to my species. So I am going to try to mimic Goro's voice to 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 tell one or two of these shadowy figures to head outside.
Okay, make a deception check.
Deception. That's +3. What kind of, or which sided die am I rolling?
Sorry. So for most, if I say make a check, it's usually going to be the D20.
Okay. So anything +3. 8 +3, 11.
Okay, one of the figures actually. What did you tell him to do? Go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
Outside.
one of Goro's henchmen, if you will, actually in the chaos of the scuffle, believes the illusion, the mimicry, and climbs out the window that he came in, leaving just one henchman and Goro in the tavern.
Alright.
And if
I have a bonus action.
okay,
Okay, so bonus action says two weapon fighting.
okay, do you need?
So I am going to attempt to use a crossbow on the remaining shadowy sentry.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll with your crossbow.
Okay, that's a plus. So still D20. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Attack. So it's going to be +0 for strength.
Oh,
Would it
oh,
be
sorry.
dexterity?
So with your crossbow, that's going to be a dexterity check, and if you're
+3.
proficient with the crossbow, it's probably you're probably proficient with it if you have it, and if your dexterity is 3, you add your proficiency bonus to that, so it'd be 5. I'm just guessing. But.
Okay. Yes, +2. So it's 5 plus 15.
Okay, that's a hit on the henchman. You said you were targeting one of the henchmen.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
so now you're gonna roll for damage.
Okay, so damage is still D20.
Damage is going to be for a crossbow. Does anyone know off the top of their head? I think it's a D8. I don't know.
D8. Okay. Alright, so I have a D8 with me. Okay, so just a very determined expression forming on his face. The raven-like humanoid or chuckles. Right between the eyes, I will. And deals 7 points of damage.
Is that a 7 on the die?
7 on the die.
Okay, you're gonna add your dexterity modifier to that. So if it's 3, that's a 10. And
Yes, that's okay.
the henchman is gonna just go down to the ground. You can't really see with the tables and the people kind of around him, but he goes down. And now it is Kagami's turn.
Who's in the initiative after me?
After you is going to be Yawara, then Orochi, and then Goro.
Okay. I'll take out my shamisen and do a few strums, and then point over to Yawari and give them bardic inspiration. So next action, next ability check, attack roll or saving throw, they get an additional d6 on it if they want.
That's a bonus action, correct?
Yes, that is a bonus action.
All right. Would you like to describe your song?
It was just a quick three strums, like dun, 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 and then you just see a light, and then you just see like a spiral of light just like envelop you for a second, before going away. And as for Goro, it's just him. I'll just use my action to cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
Which just again three strums, but I purposely played bad on the last strum, so you just hear boom, 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 and then you just hear, hey, you bald-headed git! And now he's gonna have to do a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Goro's making a wisdom save. He fails spectacularly.
Okay, so 1d4. Hold on. My system is acting weird. So it is gonna be 3 damage.
Okay.
Psychic.
Okay. Takes 3 psychic damage. And it is now, let's see. Second. Yuara, your turn.
Okay. For my main action, I'm going to cast Magic Missile, and the fact that I'm blind right now doesn't matter because it automatically hits. And that is 3d4. I'm aiming for the main guy. I forgot his name immediately.
Goro.
Yes, thank you. And that's 3d6, and I mean 3d4. And you said d6 on my attack, right?
No, it's only if you were rolling to hit.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't add to damage.
Okay. Just the d6s left, or d4s. Okay. 4, 3, and a 2.
Okay, he looks very badly injured after taking that damage. He's still on the ground. And it is Orochi's turn, who is going to just charge at him, from what I heard in the chat.
Can you use my bonus action to try to clear out my eyes? See if I can fix my sight.
Sure, yeah. As you give your face a nice, lively scrubbing, your vision returns back to normal.
So Orochi, he's going to take a moment. He closes his eyes. He draws his long sword, his katana, and places it in front of him. Very relaxed. It's like not him at all. And is going to step forward and strike at Goro, who is on the ground.
Okay, make an attack roll.
All right. And do I get any sort of advantage since he's down?
Yes.
Okay. So I will roll twice. Okay. 15 and a 24.
Okay, that's a hit. Roll for damage.
One away from a critical.
Yeah.
Too bad. All right. And I'm using this two-handed, so that will be 10 damage.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, as you give him a good hit with your weapon, he's obviously hurting really bad and is not posing a threat anymore. And he sort of just...
Can I try to, like, stab into him and pin him?
Yeah, you succeed. He's pinned. And he looks up at you just like, I give up, I surrender. Please don't hurt me.
I am an honorable samurai, and I will not slay a defenseless opponent who is for clemency. That's a word, right?
If it keeps me alive, sure.
Yeah.
Do be aware, he does still have his sword in his hand.
He does.
Mitsuki will yell over too.
I don't think it would be wise to leave someone alive who would take an innocent hostage.
Well, I guess it's lucky for Goro that I'm the one drawing blade on him.
Goro, at the sound of that, relinquishes the Kinkaze. It clatters to the ground.
Are we still in initiative?
No.
Okay. Hakuro, still with the stones floating in his hand, will walk up to the now, I guess, pinned Goro. And without looking at Orochi, I'm going to say this. He is going to make an unarmed strike against Goro.
Oh.
He says nothing. He does not give any indication that he's listening, but he is going to make an unarmed strike against Goro.
Okay. Go ahead, make your attack, and then we'll wrap it up. I want to be sensitive of everyone's time.
Okay. He's going to make an unarmed strike. That is a 17.
I believe that's a hit on. You're attacking Goro?
I'm attacking Goro.
Yeah. He dies. And
When that there's something that happens.
Mhm.
When that happens, if I may flavor this.
Yeah.
When that happens, almost like a puff of smoke escapes from Goro's chest, floats up to Hakuro's mouth, and Hakuro swallows it. For just for meta-wise, I now have 4 temporary hit points.
Wow.
What in the divines did you do that for? I told him he would live.
A very wise choice, Sakura.
He was a villain.
Unnecessary.
It's like to not be accused of antacid.
He did not deserve pity. He came with intent to kill, so he was prepared to die as well. And his hair and eyes are still floating and glowing, by the way.
These are not the ways of Bushido.
He paid for his dishonor with his life.
This. I'm gonna cut you guys off here, although this is super cool. I do want to be respectful of everyone's time. This has been really, really great, really fun, amazing. I love where the character backstories are going. I love where the improv and the ebb and flow. These events are going to be held monthly, so you can sign up for more. If you're a member, you can join the Samurai Zokoimen ongoing campaign, and I will provide instructions for that if you want them. But the ongoing campaign takes place in the chat, and if we get enough people, we might consider holding like events specifically for the people in that campaign. It can have up to 10 people, where we just do live streams again. Right now, we're sitting at like 3 or 4 people, so there's like 6 spots. So if you're a member, or you want to be a member, it's a good time to join. I will add, if you're a member, I'll just go ahead and add you into it, and then we'll sort of merge with the other group. I know that we're totally in the middle of an encounter, so we'll have to reconcile that in some way. But we're towards the end of it, so it should be fine.
1,000 platinum for everyone.
And with that, does anyone else have any questions about that?
I was also I'm running one too. I don't have any players yet.
Yes, Gavin is all set up to run a. You can, if you scroll down in the channels to the left, you'll see Refuge. That's all set up. His campaign setting is called Refuge, and I mean, I'm considering playing in that. So I
Yeah, you are.
that sounds like super fun to me. So if you're a member or you pick up a membership, you can join that campaign. We could even we could also talk more about how we want that to look if we want to do like something similar to this, but for your campaign. We can talk about that more later, but we're looking for players for that as well. So you can join the Samurai Koiman ongoing campaign, or you can join Gavin's campaign, and you can do that in that role-playing portal that you should all have access to. There's a form you fill out to join an ongoing campaign. And then in the event that some of you are not members and have no idea what I'm talking about, I will just provide a link here. The membership is pretty cool because, well, we're opening up a lot of D&D stuff, but obviously it's designed to give you resources to kickstart your voice acting career. So you get discounts on workshops like the one that Karen was talking about. You get 30% off, and then you get access to all of our previously recorded workshops. So like you can see Karen in action during the workshops, and many of our other instructors, Jameson Price, Tiana Camacho, Jameson Price, Richard Epcar, and more. Anyway, I'm sure most of you are already familiar with that, but I left a link in the chat, and I'll leave one in the stream as well for anyone listening who's interested. Well, am I leaving anything out? Does anyone have any parting thoughts?
I would like to say it was a lot of fun playing with you guys.
Yeah.
Guns are mutual, buddy.
I thought so too. This is literally my first D&D session, and that was a blast.
Cool.
I was not expecting this, quite honestly.
I run a D&D club at my school, so like every Thursday, a handful of my students will play like 2 campaigns at the same time in my classroom. So it's nice to be on this side of things again.
I would just say congratulations, you joined your first party and now you got your first murder on your hands.
Yeah, I know. I felt it. Like in the moment, I thought, "Is this what Takuro would do?" You know what? Something's happening to him. This is exactly what he'd do.
What people don't realize about D&D is you try your best to keep it as regulated, as stable as you can, but random nonsense is gonna happen.
Like me trying to steal the sword from the lady. That was totally like, that is so something you would be thinking right now to do.
In my mind, I'm like, oh no.
Well, you're a rogue, so it's
That one was so much fun to do. Despite failing, not getting the sword, the
That
lesson
is
was
one
learned.
way to get the ball moving forward very quickly.
That was so much fun doing that.
And just so you guys know, it looks like we have about 50 people listening on X or Twitter right now, and a couple people on Twitch as well. I wasn't watching the whole time, but I think we got a pretty good turnout. So, anyway, there's obviously going to be more of these every month. We're going to have one, so you can sign up now in advance if you want, and then consider those ongoing campaigns, mine or Gavin's as well. So with that, I will bid you adieu. In my part of the world, at least it's night, so good evening. And this has been recorded, so we'll post it at some point on YouTube, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions over the next few days or whenever you want. All right, good night, guys.
Good night.
Have a good night. Thank you much.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, jeez. Wow. A lot to handle there. Okay.
Whoa. Okay, looks like the max on X was that 54 here?